Here it presents Enlightened by Brian Coughlin. It's so dark, Blue said to her husband Barry. Even with all the stars you can see, it's so dark. You can't see hardly anything below the tree line. Isn't it wonderful, Barry asked. Away from the light pollution of the city, we can see the sky as God intended. It's scary driving when it's so dark. A deer could jump out at any time. Well, then it's a good thing you ain't driving, Barry said, because I recognize the amazing technology in this car and what it allows us to do. Remember the special sensors? They'll warn us if there's something up ahead. Deer, skunks, people walking their dogs, whatever. The sensors keep us all safe. Such is the beauty of living in these enlightened times. I'd still feel better if you slowed down. Barry started to say, "Oh, come on," but the red glow from the dashboard interrupted, and he slammed on the brakes. A deer ran across the road and into the trees on the other side. "Oh my gosh, that was close," Blue said. "We're all right," Barry said before lifting his foot off the brake. "See, the sensors work perfectly. We're safe as can be." "That's good," Blue said. "But just in case, can you drive a little slower the rest of the way?" "Hey, you don't have to be scared," Barry said. "The whole point of these new technologies is they're idiot-proof. The red light flashed, and I hit the brake. Everything is fine. Please, a little slower for me?" Barry said, "Jesus Christ," under his breath. Then, "All right, it isn't necessary, but we can waste some time if it makes you feel better." A few minutes later, the pair safely arrived at their cabin. Barry parked as close to the door as possible, but a 100-foot walk still lay between them and safety. That walk seemed to grow longer when Barry turned off the car's headlights. "Can't we keep the lights on?" Blue asked. "I don't want to walk in the dark." "Oh, come on," Barry said. "It'll be all right. I'll be right next to you the whole time." "I know, but I've never been this far outside of town. It gets so dark here, and there are wild animals. I overheard someone at the supermarket today say they saw a bear." "A bear," Barry said. "The only bears around here are little black bears, and they mostly eat from garbage cans. There aren't any man-eating grizzlies within 100 miles of here." "Well, I'm scared." Barry sighed and pulled out his phone. "Okay," he said. "I hear you and have an idea. There's a new camera feature on my phone that brightens up dark photos." "I don't want to play with the phone right now. I want to get inside." I know," Barry said, "but this is like night vision. I get that it's really dark, but we can take a look to see there's nothing to be afraid of." "See," Barry said as they reviewed the brightened photo. "There's nothing there. It takes about 3 seconds to capture enough light, but then we have a photo that's clear as day." Blue looked from the photo to the yard and nodded. They walked slowly in the dark. Blue listened to their footsteps as they walked, so the thick, crunchy rustle up ahead was especially noticeable. "Did you hear that?" Blue said. "It was nothing, just the wind." "Can you take another photo to check? Use the new feature thing." "All right." The 3 seconds it took the camera to brighten the photo felt like an eternity. "All clear to the left," Barry said. "And we're clear on the right. Okay, now let's get inside." Barry and Blue walked only a few more feet before hearing another crunch, though this time it was accompanied by a faint sniff. What was that? "We already looked," Barry said. "Nothing was there." "But, damn it, Blue. The point of looking was to reduce the hassle, not find new ways to nag me." "I'm sorry, just one more time, please?" "Oh, for God's sake," he said. "Fine." Barry pressed his lips together as he held the phone steady. He already knew there was nothing there. He already knew he was wasting his time. But he was wrong. The end.